thing, clutch shots, big stops, very, very physical. In the end, your guys made enough plays on the defensive end to come out on top.
Yeah, look, I thought overall it was probably our worst defensive game of the year. We didn't do a great job getting back. We didn't do a good job keeping the ball out of the paint. So we could have been better, but you're right. Down the stretch, we played good defense. We made shots tough, and we did a good job down the stretch. So when we needed it, we got it. Actually, when we got back and got set, we weren't awful defensively. We weren't great, but we weren't awful. But in transition, I just didn't think we did a very good job tonight. But it's good to be able to come in and talk about that tomorrow and watch film and coming after a win.
Well, Coach, you closed the game out on a 9-3 run after Toronto had taken the lead after a 24-10 run. So your team showed some resiliency and not, put their heads down when Toronto took the lead and were able to finish.
Todd, you could have given my postgame talk. That's exactly what I said. And I've said it 2 or 3 times this year about our team. The thing I like the best, there's still a lot to work on, obviously. The thing I like the best is our resilience. I mean, we've hung in there. Obviously, the Phoenix game got away from us. But, the first Toronto game, we were down, had to come back. Great second half. Miami, we got way down, came back, made it a game. And then, they were able to close it out on us. San Antonio did pretty much the same thing. We got ahead. They came back and took the lead, and then we finished it out. So, we're already early in the year having a pattern of resilience, and I think that's obviously a good thing for a team to have.
Coach B.I. came out to start this game aggressive. How much did that open things up for you guys and really set the tone for the entire game?
Yeah, listen, I thought that the first half he was really aggressive and got going, and then early in the second half, Zion really got going. Those guys did what your 2 best players are supposed to do. And then to have your 2 starting guards play, over 66 minutes without a turnover against that team and that aggressive defense is phenomenal. And then obviously Bled hit a huge 3 down the stretch.
Hey, Stan, Christian Clark with Noel.com. 19 points and 10 assists for Eric Bledsoe. Just what do you think allowed him to look so comfortable and play well in this game?
Well, I would say the first thing is he's a really good player. So it's pretty much that simple. Like he's finding it, sometimes early in the year, the first couple of games, especially with a new team, I think he was a little tentative, trying to figure it out, didn't want to bump into anybody. And now he's really getting going and being aggressive. I thought he's played really, really well the last couple of games.
What's up, Coach? This is Will from The Athletic. You mentioned the defensive effort tonight. Gave up 28 points in the paint in the first half and kind of got it under control in the second half. What did it take for you guys to, do a better job keeping them away from the rim?
Yeah, I still don't think we did a really good job in the second half. It was more reasonable, I guess. It just wasn't our best. Wasn't our best defensive performance. It just wasn't. So we want to go back to work on that. But we found a way to win, and the way we won tonight is something we've got to do. Right? We dominated on the boards, and we got to the free throw line 47 times because we attacked and attacked and attacked and attacked. We sent them to the line too many times. We've been very, very good keeping people off the free throw line, but we were getting broken down on the dribble so much tonight that we sent them to the line 27 times, and that's still a margin of 20 attempts because we got guys like Brandon and Zion who really attacked, and Stephen got there 8 times. And I'll tell you what, we got really, really good effort, energy, and really productive minutes out of Jackson Hayes. I thought he was outstanding. Rebounded the ball, 8 rebounds, 4 on each end, made all 4 of his free throws. I thought he was very, very productive.
Remember that, Coach, one more from you mentioned the 47 free throw attempts. That's a franchise record in the regulation game. Just what did you think about the pressure you guys put on the rim the entire night?
Well, that's what we do. I mean, that's what we should do, right? I mean, if you look, Steven Adams puts pressure on the rim on his rolls to the basket and his offensive rebounding. We know Zion puts incredible pressure on the rim, driving the ball and everything else. BI puts pressure on the rim, driving the ball, and he's a tough guy to score. Eric Bledsoe puts pressure on the rim. So we've got a lot of guys who can attack the basket, and we can put that kind of pressure on teams. And it's important to us. The rebounding and the getting to the line are important to us. Not fouling other people, taking care of the ball, and protecting the paint are also, those are probably our biggest things. We didn't do those three things as well tonight, but we were able to hang on and beat a very good team who's had a lot of success together, have great experience and the whole thing. So it's a really good win.
Hey, Stan, Andrew Doak from CBS in New Orleans. When you get a night like that from Bledsoe and a couple of your other role players chipping in with Lonzo and Adams, and when they're able to put up points like that, even if it's in the 15 to 19 range, how difficult do you feel like you guys are to beat on a night like this?
Well, we were difficult to beat tonight for sure, and so were they. I mean, their guards played tremendously. I mean, those two guys are tough to stop, and they were tough to beat. So, I mean, it was just a game. It could have gone either way. Our guys finished it out well on the defensive end of the floor and on the boards, and then Brandon made plays at the offensive end of the floor. So it's not easy to give up a double-digit lead with, like 7 minutes to go and then go behind. A lot of teams just sort of fade away at that point. So not that I want to give away the double-digit lead, which we've done against San Antonio tonight, but to be able to hang in there and keep playing is a good sign for a team.
Hey, Stan, Scott Kushner with NOLA.com. Just can you take us through the philosophy of the final minute offensively? I know Zion was kind of not in for the very last possession or so. What were you guys trying to do kind of philosophically, and then did you kind of get the exact looks that you wanted?
Well, listen, the only reason Zion wasn't in at the end, if I had timeouts, so I made a huge mistake in the game that you guys should all write about and criticize me for tomorrow, because you'll sound like you really know what's going on, but this is true. So we made that challenge in the second half and lost the timeout. We should have never challenged that, not because there wasn't one we couldn't win, but I used an extra timeout in the first half. I think when you've used an extra timeout, you better be absolutely sure if we're going to challenge, because we're only taking one timeout down the stretch. And you need that, obviously, if you go behind and need to advance the ball, or if you need to call timeout to get it in. But my point with Zion is we couldn't play offense-defense like that. And I wanted to play 4 perimeter guys so we could switch all the pick and rolls. And that's why we had him out, and we couldn't take a timeout to get him back in on offense. And so that's where we ended up with him. And I explained that to him afterwards. I mean, he played an unbelievable game in the second half, but I was just more comfortable having 4 perimeter guys switching out there, all really, really good defenders. That's probably the best defensive lineup we can put on the floor. We had the lead, and that's what we did. As far as philosophically what we did at the end, I wasn't exactly designing innovative plays. My philosophy was let's give the ball to the best player we have on the court right now, and let's let him. And, that's pretty good offense. And he did a great job with it. So he made me look good.
And Stan, just real quickly, that's the second time, the 2 home wins that you've kind of leaned on him in the very, very end. Is he becoming that guy that you think you can just kind of give him the ball?
Well, listen, it is hard to go to your bigger guys in those situations. And here's the other thing is he's a great free throw shooter. So to me in those situations, that's very important too. Like you've not only got to have a guy on the floor who can make plays and make shots, he's got to be able to make free throws when he gets fouled. So that makes him, to me, with his size and skill, his ability to get shots pretty much on his own, and his ability to make free throws, it makes him a guy that you want to go to. I'd like to give him a little more help in terms of, what we run for him. I didn't do a very good job of that tonight, but, great players can overcome mediocre coaching, and that's what Brandon did tonight, and so we'll take a win in that ball.